Millions are heading to the polls today to ensure their voices are heard. Here in California, a special election that could have a national impact. What's at stake for both political parties with Proposition 50 now in the hands of voters?
We were just so overwhelmed with the motion. We couldn't stop crying. So we're trying to stop now. He's home, he's safe, he's pretty healthy. So we're just grateful.
A family in Selma now finally reunited with their loved one after he went missing during a hunting trip. What he says kept him going while stranded in the wilderness for nearly 20 days.
The shutdown stalemate on Capitol Hill continues this morning as Democrat and Republican lawmakers remain at an impasse.
Democrats are in the middle of a civil war, and they should just open the government. That is the easiest way to do this.
We are about to hit the longest shutdown ever, and it's happening with Donald Trump and every Republican saying no negotiations. You can't get to a deal unless you actually sit down and negotiate.
Why some senators are optimistic the shutdown will end soon, and what assurances Democrats want from the president as they push to extend expiring Affordable Care Act subsidies.
And we got some rain on the way for you here. Nothing doing right now, but things could start developing later tonight for some parts of the San Joaquin Valley. How much rain are we going to get? You'll find out coming up.
You're watching Fox 26, and now, great day.
We begin the 5 o'clock hour of Great Day with a live look at downtown Fresno. Today's high will be 78 degrees. A bit of a haze, but no notable fog this morning. At least that's what I thought I heard Justin say moments ago, just before the newscast started. Good Tuesday morning to you. Good Election Day Tuesday. I'm Liz Gonzalez.
I'm Carl Cook.
And I'm Justin Willis. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, not a whole lot of haze, not a whole lot of fog going on down there. You can see downtown Fresno shining with that nice golden hue provided by the artificial lights down there.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. It looks great.
Whatever it takes.
Still nice. Keep it up. It looks great. Yeah, no fog today, though. What we do have, though, on the way is some rain, which we are tracking for you, and we'll get to that here momentarily. But for now, let's get your current conditions going. Clear skies outside right now. 51 degrees at the moment. Winds are out of the west at 3 miles an hour. The dew point's at 45. All right, here's the rest of the day. We'll have plenty of sunshine to start you off there. In fact, most of the day. 64 at 10, 71 at noon. 5 o'clock, we'll see a few clouds start to develop out there for us. 72 degrees at that time. Light to calm winds out there for us as well. But your next weather maker, well, it's right around the corner yet, and it should bring a decent amount of rain to some parts of the valley. We'll track this next weather maker coming up.
We begin this 5 o'clock hour of Great Day with breaking news. Former Vice President Dick Cheney has died at the age of 84. According to the family spokesperson, he died last night due to complications from pneumonia, as well as heart and vascular disease. He first served under President George H.W. Bush in that administration as Defense Secretary before returning to the public eye as Vice President under former President George W. Bush in the year 2000. In one of the most complicated elections ever, former President Bush and Cheney defeated Al Gore and his running mate Joe Lieberman when the Supreme Court ruled 5 weeks after the elections to cease recounts in Florida. Cheney had been a key player in the White House's war on terror campaign after 9/11, and after unheeded warnings to Iraq's leader Saddam Hussein, former President Bush ordered the launch of Operation Iraqi Freedom in 2003. The Bush administration asserted Iraq had weapons of mass destruction, a claim that many officials would later retract when the weapons were never found. Now, years after leaving office, he was targeted by President Trump after his daughter Liz Cheney became the leading GOP critic of the president's actions in the January 6th Capitol riot.
Our time is 5:03, and yeah, we got some things going on with our forecast. So still dealing with a little bit of high pressure here, which has kept us above normal. It got us to 81 degrees yesterday. That's pretty well above normal, 10 degrees above it. In fact, it felt warm too. But this high pressure is starting to slide out, and now we get some storm, a storm that's going to start moving in. You can kind of see it developing here out in the Pacific there, causing already some rain up in the northern part of the state. That low pressure is going to come in and bring a good amount of rain to some parts of the state here. There's been a few changes on this one here. Let me show you really quick. So here's the situation today. Rain already going in Northern California, but we get to tomorrow morning about 10 a.m. We'll start to see some rain out there, parts of the west side and mostly in the North Valley there. And kind of hang on until mid-afternoon there. It's going to pass over Fresno, and in a pretty short period of time, just a few hours there, not going to leave a whole lot of rain. We're only expecting about 1/10 of an inch of rain in Fresno, and probably less than that in the South Valley now. Merced might see up to 1/4 of an inch, but the northern parts really are going to see the most of this storm here. So not a lot expected out of this one. As far as any snow, well, the levels on that have now gone up, and we're now expecting it at the 9,000 foot level. We said 7,500 foot yesterday. Now it's at 9,000, and it's probably going to be a couple inches there. I think at Tioga Pass is where they're looking at a couple inches of snow there. It'll start backing off in the early evening hours, and then it gets out of here, and then we're back to sunshine by the end of the week. Of note, there is another storm that is brewing way out in the Pacific right now that we could see some significant rainfall from, but that would probably be about a week or so from now. We'll keep an eye on that for you. In the meantime, just some FYI alerts here for you. High wind warning over in Mono County there, in effect until tomorrow night at 10 because of the storm coming in. Dense fog advisory if you got any business over there in the southern Salinas Valley there. That's in effect until 9 o'clock this morning. Coastal flooding is still going on for Monterey Bay and now for San Luis Obispo County. Those coastal regions dealing with king tides there. You notice the full moon, that's going to have a factor on it there. And we're looking at this coastal flood advisory for both those areas in effect until Friday afternoon. So temperature wise, here's what we're dealing with. 78 and sunshine for us today. Tomorrow, 40% chance of rain now, 10 to 15 mile an hour winds. All the way down to 68, though, and then we're back into the 70s the next day at 71. 40s and 50s for your overnight lows. All right, in just a bit here, we'll get your highs and lows for the rest of the San Joaquin Valley.
Time is 5:06. Voters across the U.S. are headed to the polls today for the first major election day since the presidential election last year. Here in California, voters will take up a Democratic proposal on new congressional redistricting maps. If voters choose yes, as many as 5 Republican-leaning seats will clear the way for more Democrats in the House. This is a counter to President Trump's move, pressuring GOP-led states to redraw maps to gain more control of the House. Democrats are hoping for a victory, which will carry over into the 2026 midterm elections and possibly beyond. The party only needs 3 seats to take control of the House. According to the California Secretary of State's office, more than 6.6 million Californians have already cast their ballots in Proposition 50 in early voting. To put that in perspective, there are 23 million registered voters in the state. In Fresno County, more than 127,000 people have already voted either by mail or cast their ballots in person. More than 17,000 have voted in Kings County. Nearly 24,000 have voted in Madera County. And in Mariposa County, that number is just over 4,800. Another 33,000 voters in Merced have cast their ballots, and in Tulare County, over 49,000 voted early. Now, if you forgot to register to vote, there is still time. That's because California allows same-day voter registration. You'd have to cast what's known as a conditional ballot at the polling site, but once the county verifies eligibility, your vote would be counted. In Pennsylvania, voters will decide whether to retain 3 state Supreme Court justices. Voters in Virginia and New Jersey are set to pick new governors. Potentially, Virginia will have its first female governor. In New Jersey, Democratic Congresswoman and retired Navy helicopter pilot Mikey Sherrill is running against Republican Jat Chitterelli. Meanwhile, in Virginia, the gubernatorial race, Democrat Abigail Spanberger is heavily favored to win her contest with Republican candidate Winsome Earl Sears. That state, again, will make history with its first female governor. New York City could possibly elect its first Muslim and millennial mayor, Zohran Mamdani. He's been a frontrunner on the campaign trail. As voters in New York take part in today's mayoral election, President Trump has one message for them: vote for former Governor Andrew Cuomo rather than Mamdani. In a post online, the president told voters, quote, "Whether you personally like Andrew Cuomo or not, you really have no choice." He then criticized Mamdani, saying the city will face economic and social disaster if he wins. Mamdani says the president's embrace of Cuomo is because he believes Cuomo would be the best mayor for him and his administration, and not for the people of New York City. Hundreds of thousands of New Yorkers already cast their ballots. The Associated Press reports that more than 735,000 early votes have already been cast in the mayoral election. That's far higher than the amount in the 2021 mayoral race. Polls have shown 34-year-old Mamdani as the favorite over former Governor Cuomo and Republican Curtis Sliwa. And here's a side note. According to NBC News, following today's elections, Speaker Emerita Nancy Pelosi of California is expected to make an announcement about her political future. The 85-year-old has not yet said whether she will seek re-election, sparking speculation that she may be retiring. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries was asked about Pelosi's potential retirement. He declined to weigh in, but praised her as an iconic, legendary, and transformational figure.
Ultimately, we'll wait on her to see what decision that she makes, and there's nothing really more to say beyond that.
Pelosi has served nearly 4 decades in Congress and was the first woman to seize the Speaker's gavel. A spokesperson for Pelosi says that she's fully focused on winning the Proposition 50 vote today and called any discussion beyond that, quote, pure speculation. A family now hoping for a return to normal after reuniting with their missing loved one after weeks. What kept 65-year-old Ron Daly fighting to see his family again after spending nearly 20 days lost in the wild? And time is now 5:10 as we head to break. A live look at San Francisco. You can find new headlines and the weather forecast on your screen all morning long, even through commercial break.
Hi, I'm Monty Torres of Fox 26 News on YouTube. Thank you for checking out our YouTube channel, where we have loads of great content for you to choose from. And while you're here, why not click on the subscribe button right here? That way you can stay in touch with all the latest breaking news, everything news related within the Central Valley. And thank you for watching.